Listen up. If you've ever felt the weight of silence hanging in your team's room, that suffocating pause before anyone speaks up, you know something's broken. You're burning with ideas, you see massive opportunities, but people freeze. They don't share. They don't risk. It's not because they don't want to. It's because they're scared. Scared of being laughed at. Scared of being shot down. Scared of losing their standing. And every second that fear isn't crushed, creativity dies a little more. That's the invisible killer lurking in so many companies and startups, a poisonous lack of psychological safety. And here's the brutal truth. Nobody wants to say out loud. If your team doesn't feel safe to be vulnerable, to admit mistakes, to challenge the status quo openly, they won't challenge anything. They won't build anything new. They'll just do the bare minimum. Safe, boring, predictable. You know this feeling well. The frustration of pitching something bold only to hear silence, or worse, thinly veiled disapproval. The gnawing anger when you realize half your team didn't voice concerns or brilliant ideas because they wrapped themselves in silence. You're drowning in potential that's chained down by fear and doubt. And it's not only hurting your company, it's killing your soul as a leader. This is where you have to get ruthless. Your job isn't just to manage projects, it's to tear down those walls. You have to create a space where nobody feels like a fool for speaking up, where dumb questions don't exist, where you don't just tolerate mistakes, you demand them as evidence people are pushing boundaries. And yes, this means brutal honesty with yourself first. Stop pretending you have all the answers, or that conflict is chaos. Conflict is the engine of creation, but only if it's safe to spin that engine. Here's what you need to do right now. First, make a sacred rule. No retaliation. If someone drops a bombshell idea or points out a flaw, your job is to thank them, not to shut them down or shrug it off. Train yourself and your leadership to respond with curiosity, not defense. Next, public vulnerability. You, as the leader, must be the first to openly admit screw-ups and unknowns. Nobody will risk it if you don't. You're setting the tone that it's okay not to be perfect. It's what learning looks like. Third, build rituals around feedback. Real feedback, not good job, Bob. Tight loops where input flows both ways, fast and focused. Reward bravery, not just results. Because the moment you reward silence or play it safe, creativity dies. Now, this isn't some soft feel-good exercise. This is survival. Your ability to unlock creative genius in your team is the toughest, most urgent leadership skill there is. Without psychological safety, your best people will either leave or shut down. Your investors will get restless. Your competition will eat your lunch. But with it, you create a storm of ideas nobody else can touch. You're not building a team. You're unleashing a force. Real psychological safety isn't about being nice. It's about being relentless in protecting the space where the impossible gets tried and shaped. If you want to be the kind of founder, investor, or leader who doesn't just follow trends, but makes history, this is your first and hardest step. Stop tolerating silence. Stop dumping ideas into empty rooms. Demand boldness. Protect your team fiercely. Get uncomfortable with comfort. This is the raw, brutal edge of leadership that turns tension into breakthroughs. And remember, every moment you ignore this, you're losing not just ideas, but the people behind them, the ones who could change everything. So fight for them. Build that space. Create that safety. Because that's where true genius lives and grows. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and open the featured link to discover more.